Have you ever wondered why certain people seem untouchable when it comes to karmic justice? There's a reason for that. If you're a chosen one, you carry an energy so pure, so aligned with divine purpose, that it naturally creates ripples in the spiritual realm. People who cross you, mistreat you, or try to harm you often experience an almost immediate backlash from the universe. But why? Why does this happen so quickly and so consistently? Today we're diving deep into this truth, and by the end of this journey, you'll understand the spiritual mechanics behind this phenomenon and why it is proof of your sacred place in this world. Let's start with this: being a chosen one does not mean you think you're better than anyone else. It doesn't mean you're perfect, nor does it exempt you from pain, challenges, or even self-doubt. In fact, chosen ones often go through the deepest struggles because their mission in this life is to awaken and inspire others. But here's the thing: chosen ones are deeply connected to the divine. Whether you call it God, the universe, or source energy, there's a higher power working through you. This connection creates a sacred energy field around you, and that field is incredibly sensitive to disruption. When someone treats you with kindness, honesty, and respect, that energy field amplifies their goodness. They feel uplifted just by being in your presence. But the opposite is also true. When someone mistreats you, whether through lies, manipulation, betrayal, or even subtle negativity, they disrupt that sacred energy field. And here's where things get interesting: the universe doesn't take kindly to disruptions of such purity. It's not about punishment, it's about balance. Imagine throwing a rock into a perfectly still pond. The ripples spread out, but eventually the water pushes back, restoring its calm. That's what happens when someone mistreats a chosen one. The universe pushes back, hard and fast.
Click subscribe to this channel to get more profound spiritual lesson.
But let's go deeper. Why does karma work so quickly for chosen ones? The answer lies in the spiritual law of resonance. As a chosen one, your vibration is high. You've likely noticed that you can't tolerate certain people, environments, or even conversations that feel off. That's because your energy is finely tuned to a higher frequency, one that resonates with truth, love, and authenticity. When someone acts against you, their lower vibrational energy clashes with yours. This creates a powerful mismatch, and the universe steps in to correct it. This correction often manifests as instant karma, not because you've cursed them or wished them harm, but because their actions are simply incompatible with the energy you carry. Think about it: have you ever seen someone who wronged you suddenly face setbacks? Maybe they lose a job, a relationship, or a cherished opportunity. It's not a coincidence, it's the universe recalibrating. But here's the important part: this isn't about revenge. As a chosen one, your role is not to seek justice or celebrate someone else's downfall. Your role is to remain aligned with your purpose, trusting that the divine takes care of the rest. In fact, the more you focus on your growth, the faster karma seems to work, because you're not tangled in the lower vibrations of anger or resentment. Let me ask you something: have you ever felt guilty when someone who mistreated you faced consequences? It's natural to feel that way, especially if you're deeply empathetic, as most chosen ones are. But here's the wisdom you need to hear: their karma is not your responsibility. You didn't cause it, they did. The energy they sent out was simply returned to them. It's a mirror, reflecting their actions back to them so they can learn and grow. And this is where your role as a chosen one becomes even more profound. You're not just a passive recipient of divine protection, you're a catalyst for transformation. By being who you are, you force others to confront their own shadows. Some will rise to meet the challenge, while others will resist and fall. Either way, it's their journey, not yours. But let's not forget karma works both ways. Just as those who mistreat you face consequences, those who uplift you are blessed. Have you noticed how people who truly care for you seem to thrive? Maybe they find unexpected opportunities, deeper happiness, or even a sense of peace they hadn't known before. That's because your energy amplifies theirs. When someone aligns with the chosen one, they align with the divine energy you carry. It's like standing in sunlight, they can't help but feel its warmth. Here's where it gets practical. You might wonder, how do I handle those who mistreat me without losing my own alignment? The answer is simple, but not always easy. You lead with love, but you set boundaries. Love doesn't mean tolerating disrespect or abuse. It means staying true to your values, even when others test you. When someone wrongs you, you don't need to fight or defend yourself. Your energy and the universe will do that for you. Instead, focus on maintaining your peace. Ask yourself, how can I respond in a way that honors my soul? Because your response matters. It's not just about what they do to you, it's about how you choose to show up in the face of it. As we close this first part, let me leave you with a question. What would happen if you fully trusted the universe to handle those who wrong you? What would it feel like to release the need for justice and simply focus on your growth? Because here's the truth, your power doesn't come from controlling what others do. It comes from knowing that no matter what happens, you remain connected to the divine, and that connection is unshakable. Let me ask you something that might strike a deep chord. Have you ever wondered why, even in moments of pain or betrayal, you've still managed to rise? Maybe you've been hurt by people you trusted, abandoned by those you loved, or attacked by those who misunderstood you. Yet somehow, despite it all, you're still here, not just surviving but growing, evolving, becoming stronger. This resilience, this ability to endure and transcend, isn't random. It's proof of your divine protection as a chosen one. But if that's true, why do you sometimes feel unprotected? Why does it seem, in certain moments, like the universe has abandoned you? The truth is, being protected doesn't mean being immune to pain. It doesn't mean you'll never face challenges or encounter people who mistreat you. It means that every experience, even the painful ones, serves your higher purpose. But here's the deeper layer. When someone harms a chosen one, they're not just acting against a person, they're acting against divine will. You are a vessel for a higher energy, and any attack on you is ultimately an attack on that energy. This is why karma moves so swiftly in your favor. The universe doesn't tolerate disruptions to its sacred plan, especially when those disruptions involve someone who carries the light. But let me ask you this, how do you define protection? Most people think of it as something external, like a shield that blocks all harm, but real protection is internal. It's your connection to the divine, your unshakable trust in the universe's plan for you. When you understand this, you realize that even the people who wrong you are playing a role in your growth. Their actions may sting in the moment, but they're ultimately catalysts for your evolution. You wouldn't be the person you are today without the lessons they brought into your life. Still, let's be clear, this doesn't excuse their behavior. When someone mistreats you, they are creating their own karma. They are planting seeds that will inevitably grow into consequences. And here's the fascinating part, the timing of those consequences often aligns with your healing. Have you ever noticed how, as soon as you let go of anger or resentment, things start falling apart for the person who wronged you? That's not a coincidence. When you release the situation energetically, you allow the universe to step in and handle it. As long as you're holding on to the pain, you're still tied to the event, and the karmic balance remains suspended. But the moment you surrender, the scales tip and justice unfolds. This brings us to an important spiritual principle. Forgiveness is not for them, it's for you. It doesn't mean you condone their actions or invite them back into your life. It means you're freeing yourself from the energetic weight of the situation. Think of it this way: when you hold on to anger, you're carrying a burden that doesn't belong to you. The person who wronged you has already moved on, but you're still carrying the energy of their actions. Forgiveness is how you put that burden down. And when you do, you create space for the universe to act. But let's dig even deeper. Why do the consequences for mistreating a chosen one seem so immediate, so undeniable? It comes down to energy. As a chosen one, your vibration is high and your purpose is aligned with divine will. When someone acts against you, they're not just disrupting your energy, they're disrupting the flow of the universe itself. This creates a ripple effect that must be corrected. It's like trying to block a river. The force of the water will eventually break through, sweeping away whatever tried to obstruct it. There's also a psychological element to this. People who mistreat chosen ones often act from a place of envy, insecurity, or fear. Your light reminds them of the parts of themselves they've rejected, and instead of facing their shadows, they project them onto you. But here's the irony: by mistreating you, they only deepen their own wounds. The instant karma they experience isn't just external, it's internal. They're forced to confront the very pain they were trying to avoid. Now, let's shift the focus back to you. How do you navigate these situations without losing your alignment? The answer lies in your perspective. Instead of asking, "Why is this happening to me?" ask, "What is this teaching me?" Every encounter, even the painful ones, carries a lesson. Maybe it's teaching you to set stronger boundaries, to trust your intuition, or to value yourself more deeply. Or maybe it's showing you the power of your own resilience, the strength that comes from walking through fire and emerging whole. Here's something else to consider: the people who mistreat you are also part of the divine plan. They're playing their role, even if they don't realize it. This doesn't mean you have to keep them in your life or excuse their behavior, but it does mean you can release the need for revenge. Trust that the universe sees everything, and its justice is far more profound than anything you could create. So let me leave you with this question: what would it look like to fully trust your divine protection? Not just in the easy moments, but in the difficult ones too. Because here's the truth: you are always protected. Even when it feels like the universe is silent, it's working behind the scenes, orchestrating events in your favor. The proof is in your survival, your growth, your light. You are living evidence of divine protection, and no one can take that away from you. Let's take a moment to reflect on this profound truth: the way people treat you is never about you, it's about them. Their actions are a reflection of their own inner world, their fears, their wounds, and their unresolved shadows. But here's the twist: when someone mistreats a chosen one, the karmic mirror they face becomes sharper, more immediate, and more undeniable. Why? Because interacting with your energy forces them to confront the truth of who they are. As a chosen one, your presence is like a spiritual spotlight, illuminating everything hidden in the darkness, and not everyone is ready to see what that light reveals. Think about it. Have you ever noticed how some people seem almost triggered by your kindness, your authenticity, or your mere existence? It's not because you've done anything wrong, it's because your energy disrupts their illusions. You reflect back to them the parts of themselves they've been avoiding. For someone who's comfortable living in denial, this can feel like an attack, even though you've done nothing but be yourself. But here's where it gets fascinating: their reaction to your light is not just emotional, it's energetic. When someone mistreats you, they're essentially sending out a frequency of negativity, dishonesty, or harm. That frequency doesn't just vanish into thin air. It vibrates through the spiritual field, searching for a match. But when it comes into contact with your energy, a chosen one vibrating at a higher frequency, it can't find resonance. It's like trying to mix oil with water. The two simply don't blend. Instead, the negative energy is reflected back to its source, amplified by the mismatch. This is the essence of instant karma. The energy they send out boomerangs back to them, and they are forced to deal with the consequences of their own vibration. But here's where things get even deeper. The karma they face isn't always external. Sure, they might experience setbacks, losses, or conflicts as a result of their actions, but the most profound karma is internal. When someone mistreats a chosen one, they disrupt their own peace. Their conscience, whether they acknowledge it or not, begins to weigh on them. They might feel restless, anxious, or inexplicably unsettled. They might try to distract themselves with work, relationships, or material success, but deep down, they can't escape the spiritual imbalance they've created. Here's a question for you. Have you ever had someone come back into your life, months or even years after mistreating you, to apologize or make amends? That's not a coincidence. It's a sign that their internal karma has reached a tipping point. They've carried the weight of their actions for so long that they're finally ready to release it. And here's the beautiful part: when they seek your forgiveness, they're not just asking for your pardon, they're asking for their own healing. But let's not make this about them. Let's bring the focus back to you. How do you navigate these karmic dynamics without losing your own peace? First, it's important to remember that their actions are not a reflection of your worth. As a chosen one, you are inherently valuable, not because of what you do, but because of who you are. Their behavior doesn't diminish your light, it reveals where they are on their journey. Second, resist the urge to retaliate. It's natural to feel anger or even a desire for revenge when someone wrongs you, but acting from that place only lowers your own vibration. Instead, choose to rise above. This doesn't mean tolerating mistreatment or allowing people back into your life who don't respect you. It means trusting the universe to handle justice on your behalf. Your energy is too precious to waste on negativity. And finally, use these experiences as opportunities for growth. Every time someone mistreats you, it's a chance to deepen your self-awareness, strengthen your boundaries, and refine your alignment with the divine. Ask yourself, what is this teaching me about my own energy? How can I use this experience to become even more grounded in my purpose? Here's another layer to consider. As a chosen one, you're not just here to experience karma, you're here to teach it. Your presence in someone's life is often the catalyst for their awakening. By mistreating you, they're given a chance to confront their shadows, learn from their mistakes, and evolve. Whether they take that chance is up to them, but the opportunity exists because of you. In this way, even their negative actions serve a higher purpose. So, what does this mean for your journey? It means you don't have to carry the weight of their actions. You don't have to fix them, heal them, or even understand them. Your only responsibility is to stay aligned with your truth. The universe will take care of the rest. Let me leave you with this thought. What if every person who mistreated you was actually a teacher in disguise? What if their actions, painful as they were designed to help you step more fully into your power? Because here's the truth: the light you carry is unstoppable. No amount of negativity can dim it. If anything, it only makes you shine brighter. And that, my friend, is the ultimate proof of your divine protection. Let's end this journey with a truth that is as simple as it is profound. No one's actions, no matter how cruel, petty, or damaging, can stop the purpose that flows through you. As a chosen one, you are here with a mission so unique, so divinely orchestrated, that nothing can derail it. Not their lies, not their betrayal, not their attempts to harm or diminish you. In fact, the more they try to disrupt your light, the brighter it shines. Why? Because your purpose is not rooted in the external world, it is rooted in the infinite, unshakable power of the divine. But let's face it, sometimes it doesn't feel that way. Sometimes the wounds they leave feel deeper than you can bear. Sometimes the weight of their actions makes you question your worth, your path, or even your connection to the divine. In those moments, it's easy to believe the lie that you're alone or unprotected. But here's what I want you to understand: even in the darkest moments, you are never abandoned. The very fact that you've survived everything they've thrown at you is proof of the divine force working within you. Here's something most people don't realize: the challenges you face as a chosen one are not random. They're tailored specifically to your growth. Every betrayal, every disappointment, every setback is designed to refine you, to sharpen your awareness, and to prepare you for the immense purpose you carry. The people who mistreat you are not obstacles, they are stepping stones. They may think they're breaking you, but in reality they're building you. Every time they try to dim your light, they only make you stronger, more resilient, and more aligned with your mission. Think about it. Have you ever looked back at a situation that once felt unbearable and realized it was exactly what you needed to grow? Maybe someone's betrayal forced you to set boundaries you'd been avoiding. Maybe a painful loss taught you to trust in divine timing. Or maybe a difficult relationship revealed your own strength, pushing you to step into your power. The point is, their actions, no matter how harmful they seemed in the moment, served a higher purpose. And that purpose was to bring you closer to the truth of who you are. But let me ask you something: what would happen if you stopped seeing their actions as personal attacks and started viewing them as spiritual assignments? What if every person who wronged you was actually playing a role in your awakening? This doesn't mean you have to excuse their behavior or keep them in your life. It simply means recognizing that their actions are part of a larger, divine plan. When you see it this way, you reclaim your power. You stop being a victim of their choices and start becoming the master of your own destiny. Here's where it gets even more powerful. Their attempts to harm you don't just fail, they backfire. Every time someone tries to block your path, the universe uses their resistance as fuel for your growth. Their negativity becomes the fire that forges your strength. Their betrayal becomes the catalyst for your transformation. This is why chosen ones often experience the most rapid growth after being wronged. The universe takes what was meant to harm you and turns it into the very thing that propels you forward. But let's not forget the deeper truth: their actions are not a reflection of your worth. They are a reflection of their own pain, fear, and disconnection. Hurt people hurt people. When someone mistreats you, it's because they are disconnected from their own light. Your presence, your authenticity, your divine energy, these things make them uncomfortable because they remind them of what they've lost or forgotten. In a way, their actions are a cry for help, even if they don't realize it. This doesn't mean you have to fix them or save them. As a chosen one, your responsibility is not to heal everyone who crosses your path. Your responsibility is to stay aligned with your purpose, to protect your energy, and to trust that the universe will handle the rest. When you do this, you not only protect yourself, but you also give others the opportunity to face their own karma and grow. You become a living example of what it means to live in alignment with the divine. So, how do you move forward when someone mistreats you? First, release the need for vengeance. Trust that the universe sees everything and will balance the scales in its own time. Second, focus on your healing. Feel the pain, process it, and then let it go. Remember, holding on to resentment only ties you to their energy. And finally, use the experience as fuel for your growth. Ask yourself, what has this taught me about my strength, my boundaries, or my purpose? How can I use this pain to step even more fully into my light? Let me leave you with this final thought: you are unstoppable. No matter what they've done, no matter how much they've tried to harm you, your purpose is intact. The divine flows through you, and that is a power no one can touch. The proof is in your survival, your resilience, and your unshakable light. So the next time someone mistreats you, remember this: they're not breaking you, they're building you. And the karma they face is simply the universe's way of keeping the balance. You don't need to fight, you don't need to prove anything, and you don't need to lower yourself to their level. All you need to do is keep shining, because nothing and no one can stop the light that you are.